So I got three wires, three, one from battery one from battery two, and one to the starter on the engine. I think that must be the way it goes. I'm not certain of that, but I definitely need a crimp for that size post, and I need a tool. All right, I buttoned that back up. I'm not going to replace that wire here today. I'm just not going to. I have ideas to move two batteries down here, which is kind of a temporary storage. Anyways, to move them down by the mast post and build a box for them to keep them there, because right now the boat lists to port because I've got two group 31 lead acid batteries riding basically on the hip in the port side cockpit locker. They're very far outboard, they're heavy, the whole boat, like I said, lists. So I want to take both of those and build a box for them, drop them down here. Obviously run the wires, probably oversize the wires so they can run all the way back. And then what I'll do is I'll put another battery in place of where those two are. I'm pointing over here, as you can't see. They're in that cockpit. Put one in there, another group 31 in there for a charger slash backup. So I'll have two banks. One will be 210 amp hours. One will be 100 amp hours, and we'll go from there. But the good news is that I went down to the chandlery and got myself some lugs, and these happen to be for 4 American wire gauge size 4 AWG with a 3/8 inch wire terminal, and that same chandlery rented to me their crimpers. So I'm super excited. Let's just get this done. I'm gonna set it like on its side right there. Hopefully this I can put in. This kind of has to be able to. Hey, listen, they used the wrong wire, but my goodness, I'm so happy that they curled it like that. Gave me lots of extra room to work with. No, that didn't even go. No, that did not go. It barely touched it. So, while that says it's 4, it's certainly not gray 25. Oh boy. That's as small as it gets. That's not going to work. Copper tube lugs. Okay, let's try this. Let me see. This one. Yeah, maybe that's what I need right there. Let's try that. Okay. Certainly doesn't take much pressure, that's for sure. Let's see. So I can do it again here. Yeah, seems like it's on okay. I wish it was a more of a, I don't know, different, but it seems like it's all right. Okay. Now we attach this and some other wires up here to the starter, and then there are some other things around here, and we can move on to other some hoses and so forth after that. I should have put some heat shrink on that. Alright, I feel much better about that. Good morning. This is day 2 of a 2 full day trip up here to the boat. I've got the starter in place. I believe the wiring is correct. Now I'm going to do the alternator. That should be really fairly straightforward. Then I'll move on to the hoses and to the controls. Engine controls, which should be also fairly straightforward, but we'll find out. Okay, the alternator is situated. I don't have the support bar down here. It's just loose, but it is connected in the back electrically. Before I put this fully in place, I should probably make sure that the starter works, and that's okay. There's one more electrical connection on the back I'll make. And this engine has no oil in it currently, so I'm going to put some oil in it. This is about 1 liter. I don't know if you could see that or not, but we're about right here, and this is the fill mark right there. So, not bad. I'll put a little bit more in it. Okay, and let's just check this. And that's right up to the full line, so that's great. Let's see if I can bump this engine over. Yep, that's it. That's all I want to make sure. It turns over. All right, now we'll finish up with the installation of the alternator. Clearly I didn't paint this or anything. It's just as ugly as it was when I took it out, but that'll be all right. Tricky. That's got to be in place. Nope, that is not going to do it. Huh. Gonna need more tighter than that. Okay, the belt is in. I hope I think that's about right. It should deflect about a 1/2 inch or with moderate pressure. Hopefully that's not too tight, but I think it's okay. I had to do some bolt cleanup for the water muffler mounts. Those came up pretty good. Just gotta love stainless steel. Okay, so we got the water muffler here. It's the one that came with the boat, but there weren't any problems with it that I'm aware of. They actually had to, somewhere down the line, they actually had to cut it down to shrink this inlet port, but again, it seems to work okay, so I'm not going to mess with it. Here is the piece of metal the plate that this rides on, and then this attaches to, or is bolted down to, one of the mounts on the engine, and that seemed to have all been okay. So now that I got these bolts over here clean, I'll just go ahead and put those on. Put the connecting hose on here for the outlet of the exhaust on the engine, and then move on from there. Prefer to do this now rather than down in there because it's gonna be a real pain, but we'll see. Okay, so leave these loose, go down, work this onto the exhaust, then bolt it down, etc. It's got to go on here. Let's see if we can do that without too much trouble. I think I did this okay. I think. It's gotta go on a ways, and I'm upside down. It's gotta go on a ways because the mount has to be put on there. So this might not have been the way to do it, but we'll see. Let's see. Maybe I should put. Let's get something on there to lubricate that a little bit. Okay. Soapy water. So hopefully this will. Let's see what happens here. Certainly a lot easier. Let's see. Let's get this loosened up here. So I lift it up, and it swings away from where it needs to be. So might have to do it again. So let's take it off. I'm gonna put this mount on first. Do it like that. Okay, I left one bolt on. Hopefully that'll be enough to be able to wiggle it into place once I get this. No, it's still. Now I gotta take it all the way off. I was thinking that this is going to be the most difficult part to get to back here. I think I'm probably right about that. Can't nothing go right. Well, that was a haul, but I got all four in there. I guess I can't get. Probably can't get in here. Because you can't see anything back there, but I got it. That mounting bolt or nut up there, and then all four bolts are in. Okay, clamps are on. This is secured down, and the exhaust hose here already fits on this, but I'm going to cut a few inches off of it just so it doesn't put quite so much downward tension on there. That'll still give it quite a bit of a rise here. I don't know if you can see that or not. Quite a bit of a rise up to the cockpit sole and then back down again. And then there's another loop in the back there. Let's take a break here and come back down and get to cutting. Okay, that's not bad. I'll hold it off to the side there so the tank can come in. I think that'll be okay. The dry fit of the tank fits. This hose doesn't get in the way at all up here. And it's snug. I'll have to go ahead and cut, sorry. That back there is the fill hose, the fuel fill hose. I'll have to cut that back quite a bit because the entry is right here back quite a ways. And then you've got the inlet to the engine or outlet to the engine, inlet to the return. And this is a grounding stud right there. But I don't want this in right now because it's really hard. I've got less room, as little room as I have. So I figure I will go ahead now instead and get this, this is the gear shift, get that installed. And so I still have to secure that big hose up there too. So here, I've got to secure this up this way, and then this rusty old nasty old thing is gonna secure to this lever arm down here, if you can see that. So this slides up and down, so I can position this a little bit differently if I need to. And then this, I don't know which one it was in, but I think it was in there are two holes down here. And I think it was in the, let's see what this is. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was in the outermost hole there. All right, I think so. All right, let's see. Let me go ahead and actuate the gear shift. So that's forward, that's neutral. Oh my God. And then this is reverse. Find out if that works or not. Well, I don't know if it's the shutoff or the throttle. I gotta look at it again, but this rusty old thing has got to connect into here. So let's get that done. Oops. So I was connecting to the engine, all the engine controls, the shutoff, the gear switch, and the gas or the fuel. And I found that I swapped these are backwards. The fuel and the gear shift on the lever here, so I'll go through that and make that right. While the gear shift is on the back, on the transmission, of course, on the gearbox, we've got the accelerator right here, and this line right here will play into that. I gotta figure out why that's not coming far enough. And then the shutoff is right here. and that's going to be this that one right there. Okay, that was no fun, but this is finally in and working both ways. It was binding in reverse for a while, and it seems to me that this on the other side here, these pins right here, this is for the transmission, this is down here is for the accelerator. And if I go, actually it was going if I go forward, then the transmission piece would get jammed up in there if I had it in the upper eye. If I had it up from there, then it would get bound up behind when it passed back there. Super frustrating. Although I have to admit also that I think in my attempt to switch the cables, you know, one for the other, I had them backwards when I first put them together. I ended up putting them right back in the wrong way. So that was no fun. Okay, the shutoff switch is threaded and tightened. The accelerator is in. Oh, it's not tightened though. I should bend that just a little bit. I'll do that. Okay, fuel line is in, and water is in. Back down in to cut that hose now that I've measured it. See what I can do here. I got it marked right here. It's got me all jacked up, going this way and that way. So now we've got, I got 2 hold downs. I built one, and that they bolt in the back, and then they clamp down on the front, something like that. Good morning. It's not about 6 a.m. and I came really close to getting this boat moving yesterday, or started and running at least, but I decided that I didn't need the power drills that I own here with me this weekend, so I left them, and that essentially prevented me late in the evening yesterday from drilling the holes I needed to resecure secure anew the fuel tank. And so I stopped there. It was 5:30. I've been working all day, getting frustrated. But I really did make excellent progress, and I think just a couple hours more work here, I believe next weekend, this coming weekend, I'll have her running again, and we'll likely endeavor to take her out. So that'll be good to get her moving. But hey, thank you so much for watching. I've got a long drive ahead of me, and I really appreciate the views, any comments, your subscription if you're interested in seeing more, and we'll be back with more progress.